Okay. Uh, Hello. My name is Dania. I'm the registered dietitian here at the hospital. It's nice to meet you, Mike.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get a little background from you. Just wanted to get an idea of what like if you could walk me through a day of what you normally eat.
So usually in the morning, so for breakfast, I'll have cereal. Um, I'll have a little bit of skim milk with the cereal, toast or a bagel, and some juice, usually apple juice. And then for snack, before lunch, I'll usually have some cola and then some crackers or pastry. Um, And then for lunch, I'll either have a ham or turkey sandwich that I prepare at home um, with fruit, chips, and a soda. Um, and then for dinner, I'll have any meat like chicken or beef with pasta or rice and some type of bread on the side, like a dinner roll. And at especially at dinner, I rarely eat any vegetables. Um, and then for before I go to bed, usually cheese and crackers, maybe some cookies, and usually another cola.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So seems pretty basic. I like that you're eating like pretty low fiber foods right now, just to not put such a huge workload on your gut. But I just wanted to go over a little education on your condition. So you were just diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And the reason why we're going through like what the symptoms are and how to like manage your condition, since this is something that you're going to have to live with and like have to learn how to manage. Um, we're just going to go through like things that you can like keep in mind while you're deciding what to eat for like throughout the day. And it does get easier over time. So just be patient with yourself and try not to like. I just don't want you to like beat yourself over, eating the wrong stuff and um, just trying. I just want to help you be like more mindful of making the right choices later on.
Okay.
So yeah. So I'm not sure if the doctor described what the Crohn's disease is. It's just like I'm sure you've experienced it, uh, but what's really going on is that there's like inflammation, and it can occur in patches or in sections all through your digestive system. So it can occur from anywhere from like your mouth all the way to the anus. So that's why recently it had affected your small intestine, and that section that they had to remove, it just wasn't functional. Um, so, so that's why now that we kind of reconstructed here at the after your surgery, now we're just going to have to focus on your diet. Um, so here's this handout that I have here for you. So some of the symptoms that you should be recognizing are diarrhea, cramping, abdominal pain, weight loss, even rectal bleeding, nausea, and vomiting. I know you came in with a lot of like abdominal pain and diarrhea. So hopefully like now that's kind of subsided and you're not really experiencing that. But just some tips on how to manage it. Before I go into it, are you aware of what to do when you're experiencing those symptoms?
Not really, not entirely.
Okay. Okay,
I
so
definitely need a education on it.
okay, awesome. Well, that's what we're here for. So, when it comes to having, the diarrhea and the vomiting, what's happening is that you're losing a lot of electrolytes and fluids. So, dehydration can like exacerbate other symptoms or make you just feel a lot worse. So, it's best to like replace those fluids. So, drinking more water. I know you're drinking cola, but your body would really appreciate just a little bit more water to replace all those fluids that you're losing from the diarrhea or vomiting. And electrolytes. I mean, if you wanted to, you could even do like, I mean, I know a lot of people like to just reach for like adult Pedialyte or like a Gatorade. I personally am not a fan of Gatorade. It's a little high in sugar. Um, but as long as it's like a fluid with electrolytes to help you kind of like replenish, then I guess it would be like a temporary quick fix. Um, but if it does happen, you can always call your doctor or even me to kind of like go over that with you again on what the right fluids would be. And for the inflammation that you're experiencing, these like abdominal pains from um, some foods that are really good with inflammation are omega rich foods. So like fish oil, there's flax seeds, but you would want it to be kind of like grinded up. Also, so fish oil, you could get it from like the actual fish. So like salmon, sardines, even mackerel are really high in like omega 3 fats. Also to increase your antioxidants. So I know it's kind of like a buzzword that you'll hear, but you can get a lot of your antioxidants from basically just like fruits and vegetables. I know you're not a huge fan of fruits and vegetables, although you do have a little fruit. Maybe starting off with like increasing your intake of some fruit and having more vegetables, but that is when your symptoms are low. So when you're not feeling abdominal pains or diarrhea or vomiting, then you can like slowly increase your fiber from those fruits and vegetables. Also, not sure if your doctor had talked to you about taking multivitamins and mineral supplements, but those can also help with like the recovery and like function of just digestion. So when you do go back to eating normal foods, you can take once a day, just a multivitamin. Also, eating like smaller, frequent foods will help you tolerate the foods a lot better. So instead of having your like huge portions for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you just have, you can space it out with snacks in between. So having a small breakfast, a snack, and it does sound like you're doing that. You're having your snacks between breakfast and lunch, and your snack um, between lunch and dinner, and then a bed night snack. But we also want to think about like what our options are going to be for those snacks. So until you can start having a little bit more fiber in your diet, I guess the crackers are fine, but maybe replacing the the soda for like juice or something, since it does have a little bit of those like antioxidants we were talking about. Um, Another thing that can kind of like trigger the symptoms for Crohn's disease could be anything from like uh, gluten intolerance to lactose intolerance. So if you notice that if you're eating anything with dairy and you're having issues with it, like digesting it afterwards, then you might be a little lactose intolerant, and that might be triggering your Crohn's disease. Sorry. Another thing you want to stay away from are things like nuts, seeds, and legumes, which are your legumes could be peanuts, it could be beans, lentils. All these things are like really, really high in fiber and fat, and they can kind of like exacerbate your symptoms. And also just trying to limit alcohol consumption. Not sure if you had mentioned, no, you did not mention having alcohol, but if you were to for like celebrations, I would say maybe limit it to like one drink. Um, and of course, this is when you're not having any of these symptoms present at the moment. Another thing I mentioned here and kind of like talked about briefly um, is like a Mediterranean diet, and this is also for inflammation. So since Crohn's disease is like a lot of inflammation, I don't know if you've heard about the Mediterranean diet. Has anyone brought it up to you?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about
Okay. Yeah. So think of like Italians. So they eat a lot of olive oil. They're having pasta. I don't know. They're putting in like a lot of vegetables. So like tomato sauce or like fruits in between. Yogurt. So also if we're thinking like Greek food, like they have a lot of like think like Greek yogurt. So you want to introduce things that are really rich in like healthy fats, like olive oil and like fish oil, and the lean meat, which you're already doing, which is great. I just kind of listed some of the oils that you may want to stay away from. So like refined oils like soybean, sunflower, grapeseed oil, just to name a few. And when you do get a chance to start eating more normally because you're not really feeling any of the symptoms, I would switch to whole grains. So that would help as well. I'm sorry. Also, taking probiotics, which are pretty rich in yogurts. Are you getting a call or is that me?
I think that's you.
Is it me? I don't know where that's coming from. Okay, it's done. Sorry about that. So I feel like I've been rambling. Okay, so this handout I would say is a pretty good reference. And lastly, kind of like limiting our sweets. So like sugar sweetened beverages, like sodas or like desserts. We also want to limit those because like a lot of sugar will also kind of like make your um, like symptoms a little worse. Um, so I know I kind of like went on and on with my handout, but do you have any questions about it or any concerns about it as far as the, with your diet and your conditions?
No, I don't have any concerns. I like a lot of the ideas. I think the reason that I haven't implemented a lot of these kind of things into my diet is just like afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. I mean, for now, you're doing a good job at, like I said, with like low fiber. Um, you are having fluids. However, a lot of those fluids seems like it's mostly coming from like juice and the cola. Um, I don't know if you have any water throughout the day. About how many cups of water are you drinking normally?
Uh, yeah, only like maybe like 2 cups of water a day.
Okay,
With my meals, I didn't mention them before, but usually with like lunch and dinner.
okay. All right, so maybe when you start to introduce water, like when you start drinking more water, um, try not to drink it all at once. I know it may seem like you're getting it out of the way by like, oh, it's a recommendation to have more water. So like I'm just gonna drink it all in the morning or drink it all at night. Maybe just to like reduce the symptoms as you get back into your normal diet, have like frequent small sips. So having maybe like half a cup of water before you eat, and then maybe like another half after you eat, just to kind of like spread it out through the day. Um, so same thing with like eating the small meals, like eating small frequent meals throughout the day. Maybe you could try doing that with the water too. Is there anything else from what we discussed that you would be interested in trying out?
Yeah, I think like I could try consuming more omega rich foods. Like I like fish. Probably I could probably try eating some more salmon or even taking with like a omega-3 like supplement. Be okay?
Okay. Okay. So so you would take like your multivitamin with like an omega-3 supplement?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just a little warning for when you do that. I think you should. I think that's a really good idea. So doing that like once a day. But warning, it does get a little fishy if if you're gonna burp, it's gonna come back and smell a little fishy. I've been there. So just a fair warning, but nothing to like be concerned about.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, let's see. So, all right. So, what are two things that you would want to start? Maybe when you get a chance to start eating normally, what are two things that you would want to start to do?
So yeah, I think eating more omega-3 rich foods. I like the idea of that, and trying to limit my cola consumption because it's something I've kind of always thought about, but I've never really tried to cut down on.
Okay. So the omega-3 supplement, you can take that. Yeah, you could do that once a day with your meals. Are you able to do that every day, or do you think you might like forget a couple of days during the week?
No, I take pills, so like I'm pretty good with remembering
Okay, great.
those
So
sort of
you're gonna
things.
take it every day. And also with the soda, it sounds like you're having it maybe 2 to 3 times a day. How much are you willing to cut back?
Uh, I could probably have like I could try for one a day and see how that goes.
Okay, so about one a day. All right, yeah, that's not too bad because, yeah, like we don't want to completely eliminate something unless it's totally going to be harmful. But I would say doing one a day for now would be a good start. Um, so we'll see how well you can like stick to doing it, to just drinking one a day. If you feel like you fall back and you're having two a day, that's okay. Just try to remember like the next day you're gonna have just one. Um, and then we can talk about it when we meet back. Um, but yeah, I think these are two really good two goals to like start on. So we're going to focus on omega-3s for your inflammation, and then the soda to kind of like encourage you to drink more water instead, and also to like reduce the amount of sugar that you're drinking a day. Yeah, so those are pretty good. Um, so you're okay with these goals?
Yeah, I like that. Actually, I'm looking forward to trying to implement these into my diet.
Awesome. Okay, great. Also, this handout is for you. You can kind of like hang it up on your refrigerator, um, and just kind of use it as a reference. So if you do feel like, oh, like that was a lot that she talked about, let me go back to, you know, like some of the recommendations. Then you can always refer back to this handout. But if for any reason you have any questions later on, before we meet again to follow up, feel free to contact me. I'll be giving you my contact information. Um, But do you have any questions now before we end our session?
Uh, Not that I can think of, but I'll take your card and I will definitely contact you if I have any.
All right, awesome. Uh, all right, great, Mike. So I think that's it. It sounds like you've got a good handle on what you're going to be doing now for like the next month. So thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing how you progress.
All right. Yes. Thank you for your time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.